Hey everyone, it's Dr. Detroit here. The doctor is in, and welcome back to our F1 2023 full season abridged playthrough. Alright, we've got a lot of things to talk about right now because, as you can see, today we're heading to the Canadian Grand Prix at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, which is going to be a great race for us. But we also have a little bit of stuff that we got to talk about. First, let's go over towards the standings. You can see we have a nice 26-point gap ahead of Sergio Perez, and you can see that Max Verstappen has fallen back a little bit, with Charles Leclerc moving up. We also still have a pretty healthy lead when it comes to the constructors' title, because as you can see, we lead Red Bull as well as Mercedes and all these other teams as well, which is really good. In the last race we did, which was in Spain, we ended up winning that race and nabbing the fastest lap despite having a gearbox issue. We have that changed now, so it'll be all set. But you can see that the next couple of races we have are Canada, Australia, Great Britain, and Belgium. And then we hit another string of races that's going to be a lot of fun. But I have something that we need to take a look at. Take a look at where our contract expires. It's going to be expiring in a couple of races. And I got to make a very important announcement here. Recently, there was an announcement that Lewis Hamilton would leave Mercedes at the end of 2024 and go to Ferrari for real in 2025. So because of this, I'm here to announce that I will not be returning to this team if we decide to do a second season, which because we're doing an abridged series, we might go ahead and do another series of this, just for some fun and just for some kicks. So there is a big chance that we could slip into somebody else's ride. Now, where will we go? Well, I mean, we do have a couple of options on the table. Let me tell you who we have options for. We could go to Aston Martin. We could go back to Alpine and reunite with them. I could end up maybe at a totally different team like Williams, or I could possibly go to Red Bull. I mean, there's definitely quite a few things. No, I am not going to go to Mercedes. I don't want to be there with Toto Wolff. Screw him. And I also don't want to go to McLaren. So there's a few options, but which team are we going to go with? Well, I guess we'll find out once we get there. And if you guys want to guess the team that I might go to, then make sure you leave a comment down below and see if you're right in a few videos. Anyway, let's go ahead and advance the time. And it looks like the chassis department needs me, so let's see what's going on. Stated their opinion on where we should take our development next. They brought up some good points. Alright, the department lead has more experience in the matter. We should side with them.
Thanks. I know these kinds of decisions can be challenging, but I think you made the right call.
I don't even know what the hell they were trying to do, but okay, fine. Alright, let's go ahead and skip this one because I don't need to use it. But there it is, everybody. Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. I know that last time we were here, we made a very impressive comeback. So let me go get this car practiced and qualified, which, by the way, we did put some upgrades to this car, but we'll get some more down the road here. But let me go get this car taken care of, and I'll see you guys on the grid momentarily.
Here in Montreal, lights out is quickly approaching on this artificial island originally built for the World Fair in 1967. Now it's used for a World's Fair of a different kind, ever since Formula One first arrived here. We're back in Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix. We'll be seeing top speeds of around 210 miles per hour here at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, with around 2/3 of the lap taken at full throttle. High-speed chicanes spell potential danger, especially at the infamous Wall of Champions, and watch out for overtaking into the hairpin and that final chicane. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position. edging out Sergio Perez, who lines up P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Verstappen, Russell, Hamilton, Norris, Albon, Ocon, Oscar Piastri, the Scientist, Bottas, Gasly, Tsunoda, Ricciardo, Magnussen, Hulkenberg, Fernando Alonso, Joe, Sargent, and Lance Stroll brings the grid to a close. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. And a warm welcome to Natalie Pinkham, who's beside me in the commentary box today. Now, can I get your take on Max Verstappen? That was a great win in the last race, but can they keep that momentum going into this weekend?
It's always nice to come into a Grand Prix weekend on a high, but your expectations are based much more on your practice and qualifying runs. So it's the momentum from those sessions that they'll be hoping to carry into the race today.
Okay, we've got that relief of having points on the board finally, so let's keep that form up and get another top 10 finish today, please.
When did Max Verstappen win this year? That's something that is kind of suspicious. Anyway, yeah, we're starting back in the 10th position because we had a very weird situation happen in practice. The energy thingy suddenly started having issues, so I decided to change it out. So that means we start back here in the 10th position, which means it could have been another 1-2 in qualifying for me and my teammate Charles Leclerc. But I believe Leclerc will do just fine this race, and so will we. So as you can see, looks like it's going to be another one of those one-stopper strategies, which I believe everybody's going to be on. This is a 35-lap race, which is longer than some of the others, but because of the fact that the lap times click off here between like 1:12 and 1:15, this race will go by fairly fast. And obviously you saw that Fernando Alonso also took a penalty as well, so he's going to start way back in the pack. But today, our mission is to just put this thing back in victory lane and continue, our quest to get Ferrari a constructor's title, us a driver's title, while we're in our one and only season for Ferrari. So if you're ready and you look ready, let's do it to it. And hopefully this is going to be the last time for this season for now.
Clutch bite is good, gearbox is responding normally. Make sure to warm up the tyres and brakes. Warm the tyres and brakes throughout the lap, please.
That's fine. Hopefully this will be our last time for at least a long time that we have to take a grid penalty. If we do get the Drivers' Championship before we get to Abu Dhabi, and we have to take another grid penalty, then it wouldn't hurt us. But as you can see in front of us, we'll have Esteban Ocon in the Alpine. We'll have Oscar Piastri as well. Bottas is behind us, and Pierre Gasly is also in the other one.
No rainfall expected today. We think it'll stay
I mean, it's
dry.
kind of neat to see that the Alpines are actually qualifying in the top 10, which is really good. I don't know, maybe that team might accept me back. I don't know. But who knows? But either way, it's a 35-lap race, and this track is pretty cool. It also played host to some Xfinity Series races, which one of them was probably one of the more controversial ones ever done. And it's also played host to some other divisions too. And it's actually a really great little, great track. And you probably heard David Crofty mention the Wall of Champions. We're going to be coming up to it. Do you see that little gold dot down there? Well, if you move a little bit to the left, you will see a small kink. That's the Wall of Champions, because it's a very short flick. It's a very short flick, and every single driver has hit that wall. Michael Schumacher, David Coulthard, Nigel Mansell has hit it. Lots of different drivers have hit that, even if they're not champions. But every driver has hit that wall at some point. Alright, here we go. We're about to line up onto the grid. We're just going to need to take this race just, as careful as possible, but we also don't want to lose too many points or anything like that, so we don't want to lose anything. Alright, let's get right in here, see if we can get a nice little launch, and perfect.
Decent parking. Let's try and get a good launch as the lights go out.
Oh, I'm sure we'll get a good launch
Okay,
here.
so that's the rest of the grid forming up now. Be patient.
Here we go. Here we go. 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And it's go, go, go! Brilliant start off the line. Look at that. Oh, hello. Okay, we had to really hold it back down. Wait, is that the Williams? I just realized there's a Williams right here. Alex Albarn up here in 7th place. But we're going to make short work of him as we make a little collision with him. Meanwhile, there's Lewis Hamilton and Lando Norris in front of us. We're gonna make short work of Alex Albon. Got a little tight right there, but hopefully he can keep it up there because the Williams teams definitely need some sort of shot in the arm. Hello. Oh man, everybody just literally parked the bus right there. But we're now up into the 7th position. As you can see, some teams are actually running on a different strategy compared to us. So some of them you can see that are on the mediums are on the other strategy. So right now put us up in the 7th position with my teammate Charles Leclerc leading the way as we now make our way into this huge hairpin turn. Let's see if we can make some short work of Lando Norris and Lewis Hamilton here at the start. So here we go. We're going to go to the outside of Lando Norris, use our powerful Ferrari engine to try and get something. But he's also using the overtake as well, side by side as we make our way down into the straightaway. Now here we come to the wall of champions. He wisely backs out, and we get through without hitting it. Oh my god. So right now Leclerc leads lap 1. Lando Norris is now behind us, put us up in the 6th position, and now we got to take care of the Mercedes duo up here of George Russell and soon-to-be Ferrari driver Lewis Hamilton. This is definitely going to be one of those. One of those interesting races, and notice too that we're on the hards. I just realized we're starting on the hards and going to the mediums. That's a weird strategy, but okay. I'm pretty sure that'll work just fine. But right now, put us up into the 6th position. We also changed gearboxes and a few other things on the car, so now this car should be pretty strong. Let's be nice and careful, crew here, because you know what? We'll have DRS coming to us here pretty soon. In fact, I think the next lap we will have the DRS. Just like Raikkonen will have the drink. I kind of miss Kimi Raikkonen in some of these events, but here we go. I don't think we're going to need that DRS, because here we go. We're going to go to the outside of Lewis Hamilton, and we'll make the pass on him.
Good job.
Oh, he's going to be right there. What are we going to do is we make our way into that little chicane, the Wall of Champions. We get through it just fine, but Hamilton almost didn't. George Russell also had a little issue there. And also our teammate Leclerc got the fastest lap, but then we take it back with a 1:16. And now DRS is now enabled. So we can use that to our advantage at some point here.
Ferrari drivers in first place.
Nice. I can see that Max Verstappen is on the alternate strategy. He's currently right there in 3rd. But boy, these hard tires are really tricky to get worn in. I'm kind of glad that they chose a little something different. Come on, baby. Come on. Now we can't use DRS down this pathway, but we'll be able to use some of it as we make our way back around to this corner, and you can see how fast a lap is around here. So now we're going to get up right in behind George Russell. And now the DRS is going to open up for us. Here we go. The DRS is about to open up for us. There we go. We're going to have a DRS right there. Now let's see if we can make a move here on George Russell. We're going to go right down to the inside. He's going to take us all the way down, but he's going to wisely back out at the last second, allowing us to go through. So put us up into the 4th position now, and we get DRS again. We get DRS again here on the front stretch.
In front is 2.3 seconds.
Alright, so now we're up into the 4th position. You can see the Red Bull teammates of Sergio Perez and Max Verstappen ahead of us. They are currently chasing our teammate Charles Leclerc, who is keeping that 1st place warm for us. And notice too, we're already on lap 4, so we're already making some great progress here, but let's go ahead and cruise just for a bit. Right now we're just kind of cruising here in 4th place. No need to really push the car too far. Ooh, very hard to get through that turn. Get through that little chicane area. We continue our way down the straightaway. We will not get DRS this time by because we were not close enough to the Red Bull cars. But I think these guys right now, I mean, look at how far that we've actually closed the gap here on Max Verstappen, because we actually have a little bit better engine than they do. But you can see that they're slowly pulling away. because we still need some engine upgrades for show. Now make our way through the wall of champions! Okay, if that had been the real race, we would have been dead, but I have damage reduced on here. So that way it allows for us to make some mistakes.
That was the fastest lap of the race so far.
Yep, so now we have the fastest lap again. We make our way into lap 5. Now what I find interesting though is that Sergio Perez is on the medium tires, so there's been a plethora of different strategies already with this race before we even get to pit stop number 1. Slowly but surely, we're closing the gap on Max Verstappen. I'm not really doing much. All right, I'm not really too concerned about these guys right now because they can use up their tires. But by the time that they use up the tires, it'll be about the time that we come to pit road, because our pit strategy here, you'll see, is that we have to come in somewhere between... Sorry about that, Verstappen, but maybe you deserved that after what you did to me at Miami. Is between lap 19 and 25. So if we can make these tires last until about lap 22, maybe, then we should be okay. Looks like we got a little damage on the front wing, but shouldn't cause any problems, I don't think. So let's make sure that we change that. I wish I could go back and, like...
We're slowly gaining on the car in front. Try to keep up this momentum.
Yep. Let me just turn that to no, because right now the front wing is actually okay.
We're increasing the gap on the car behind by 5/10 a lap.
Just gotta be careful here. But as you can see, us four, we're just kind of doing our thing here. So right now, the Red Bulls are in a Ferrari sandwich right now. A definite Italian sandwich. Past the breadsticks. But we're slowly pulling away from George Russell and Lewis Hamilton.
Use overtake.
Alright, so our crew chief, for our race strategist, is saying to use the overtake. We'll use a little bit of our overtake, and as well as mix with the DRS.
New strategy available on the
Really? You guys park the bus every freaking time. Okay, let's fix that really quick. They always do that. They always park the bus at the wrong time. So let's just be really cautious here as they make their way through the corner. Now let's get right back into it. Alright, we will for sure have DRS here, so let's use our overtake as much as we can. See if we can make the pass here on Max Verstappen as we make our way down the straightaway, heading straight towards the Wall of Champions. Here we go, right in there. Oh my god! Wow! Kinda had to cut the course there, but yikes.
Okay, good work. Great pass.
Meanwhile, up at the front, I see that Sergio Perez is trying to make the move on our teammate Charles Leclerc. He's not going to have the line here, but he will have the line right there. But is Perez going to make the move? I think he is going to make the move. And if Perez ends up doing anything good, you know, right now he's our main issue right now in the championship. But now we moved ourselves into third place. Just gotta be really cautious here. Don't do anything foolish. Don't do anything stupid with these guys, and make sure that our teammate can stay out front as much as he can. We're going to have the DRS again. We'll also use a little bit of our overtake, but there's no way that we can really catch him here. We gotta keep this. I keep hitting my AFD. Whoa. Okay. Well, that was a close one. But now we're in second. Alright, so that means it is a Ferrari 1-2. It's a Ferrari 1-2 again, baby. Whoa. God. I thought we got rid of that in practice. I thought we got rid of that rear end issue, but honestly we didn't. Alright, so now put the Ferrari teammates in 1-2, which is great. You saw there that Verstappen is now in third place, so it's sort of like second verse, same as the first, with some of these races. So now we can just lag back right here and stay behind Charles Leclerc and see if we can make a big enough gap. But of course, can my car just stop doing that? Like, you know what? Sometimes I think that the rear end is just way too loose for some of this stuff. I may have to figure out a few things to like try and get that rear end to work. But for now, we'll just kind of stay here behind our teammate Leclerc. Verstappen is third, Perez fourth, and George Russell currently round out the top 5. The Butler. Taking it nice and easy here. Now, we will get the DRS, but I'm not going to use anything with it. I'm going to let Charles Leclerc continue to lead this. Let's just have some good fun with him, and we'll just kind of let him do his thing. You know what's going to end up happening is that when we change teams, we definitely will not have a teammate. We probably will not have a teammate that will be as good as Leclerc is. Now, who knows? Because I did see the Alpines back there, and I know that the Alpines would probably be a fun team to go back to. Aston Martin is definitely struggling, so I don't know if I would go there. I could go to Mercedes. I mean, I probably, if Toto Wolff was not part of Mercedes, then I would probably go over there. But I don't like Toto Wolff at all. I kind of hate his guts right now. So to be fair, I think I'm gonna not go to Mercedes. So it might come down to a team with the letter A in it. Maybe not Sauber, and maybe not Williams. Which, speaking of the Williams, I actually kind of wonder if the Williams team is actually doing pretty good. It's hard to see, especially when you can only see the top 5. Well, either way, we got a long time before we got to come to pit road. So for right now, we're just cruising back here in second place. Just kind of biding our time. And Verstappen is definitely closing the gap, but right now he's got...
The car behind's gaining on you by 5/10 a lap.
5/10 a lap. That's not true. He's actually gaining on us maybe just a little bit, but not 5/10 a lap. Come on, man. Seems like I can get through the corners a lot better than Leclerc. I know that one of the upgrades that we did to this Ferrari was to work on the front end. We took the front end and we gave it a little bit more front downforce, and then when we take it back to the shop later on, ooh, are we gonna make that move? I think he's gonna let us have it. Yeah, no. Let's not be that dumb. As now, here comes Sergio Perez to the outside. Perez gives us a little bump. Oh, but that bump has just sent us to the race lead. Oh boy. Alright, this is not going to work, but somehow we managed to get through here. Come on, Leclerc, get past me. There we go. But we're going to keep it here with Max Verstappen. Sergio Perez goes to the inside. He's going to end up taking that spot. Yikes. We hit the back of Sergio Perez, so put us back into the 3rd position, and we get a warning.
The Ferrari drivers just completed a pass for the lead of the race.
Yep. So here we go. Now we're gonna get back underneath Sergio Perez. Oh, car just got wicked loose because of the fact that every time you go for the gas, the car just completely loses the rear end. It's like you have to feed the gas in a little bit more. But let's see if we can get past Sergio Perez here coming into these chicanes. We're gonna make the pass on him, and he will go back into the 3rd position. So now put us back into the 2nd position. We just gotta make sure that we...
Nice work, mate. That brings you up a place.
Yeah, that's right. And now it looks like our control box unit is doing pretty good because it's keeping everything nice. Keeping everything nice and in line. Oh, I hit Leclerc. I hit my teammate Leclerc a little bit. That's not what I want.
Use your overtake button more. It's time to utilize some of this energy. Come on.
But I kind of feel like that maybe that hit was actually good for him, because now we actually have a little lead over Sergio Perez, which is great, as well as Max Verstappen. We should start to see those people with the soft and the medium tires start to come to pit road here at some point. Now, what this will end up doing is that despite the fact they'll be on the faster tire, everybody most likely will either be on the mediums or softs towards the end. But here's where the issue comes in. Because of the fact that some of these teams, like Verstappen, are on the soft tires, those tires are going to start squealing here pretty soon. And this is about the lifespan of them, so he's going to have to come to pit road. But what this is going to do is that this will perform an undercut strat, but because of the way these races go, chances are he's not going to end up coming out in the race lead. At least not at this point. You can see we're slowly. You can actually see that we're actually not getting too much here, because I think once we come to pit stops, I'm sure we'll get some cars spread out. Yay! Leclerc just keeps parking the bus. I wonder, should we go ahead and gun for the lead, or should we just go ahead and stay right here with our teammates? You know what? Let's stay with our teammate for a couple more laps, and then we'll go from there. Actually, you know what? He's really parking the bus here, and our lap times are really bad, so I think we may end up passing him here in a sec. But I'm going to wait until we get to the backstretch, because right now, this is not the best place to pass, despite the fact that we passed Sergio Perez in this area. We just got to he's got to stop hitting those back ends. God, we keep using up that rear section of Leclerc. Let's see if we can try and pass him here, because I think what we gotta do is that now we need to really focus on... Yeah, because look at this. He's parking the bus way too many times, so you know what? I think this is where we're going to make the pass on Charles Leclerc. So we do have the DRS, we do have our overtake, but let's see if we're close enough. I don't think we're close enough at all to really do anything with him. We're going to be catching right up to him. The car is at 212 miles an hour. Is he going to give us the inside? He does. So put us into the race lead of the Grand Prix. So now put us up at the front, but because of that, Max Verstappen has taken over second place. So that little change for the lead kind of messed us up. But now Leclerc's in some deep doo-doo as he's trying to get around Max Verstappen for that spot. But remember, Max Verstappen is on the tire that is going to be falling off here pretty soon. So right now, because of the fact that we're now in the race lead, his lap times are going to be a little bit wonky. But I just felt like we needed to get in front. Because really, I was just getting tired of the AI parking the bus. Make our way through the corner. Make sure we don't lose the rear end. So right now, it looks like Leclerc is going to fall into the clutches of Sergio Perez. But hopefully he doesn't. Hopefully he doesn't, lose this spot or anything. But now that we have the race lead in the Grand Prix, we can now see what we can do with this car and take it as far as we can. We're on lap 15 now, so we're about 4 laps away from the pit window opening for us, and that'll be good because these hard tires are really starting to show some wear. And it's kind of interesting because a lot of these races have been one-stoppers. There might be something down the road where we might end up doing a 2-stop strat to see how that goes. I mean, we do have a pretty powerful car. I mean, this is a Ferrari, damn it.
Okay, be aware, the grip levels are going to start falling away soon.
Yeah, no crap. But right now, we have the race lead. Verstappen is second, Leclerc third, and Perez fourth. Now, this is actually going to be working in our favor a little bit more because Max Verstappen is way down in the point standings. So right now, even if we have an issue, if Perez does not finish or win this race, he's going to lose a lot of points. He's going to lose out on a bunch of points. But now that we have the race lead, we have it at about 5.5 seconds because I think what's going on is that the AI just seems to really park the bus everywhere. What I mean by parking the bus is just like stopping in the middle of the track. Ooh, there we go. Verstappen to pit road. Remember what I said? So the cars that started on the alternate strategy to go to the softs are now coming in. So Verstappen is doing this to start the undercut. But what he doesn't realize is that we're going to be coming to pit road a lot later than he is. So by the time that we come out, we'll have the fresher tires. So it might actually hurt him. We may have actually seen the last of him, but I don't know. We'll see. Meanwhile, let's continue. Let's continue up here as we now have a 7-second lead ahead of Leclerc. And he can keep Sergio Perez behind him because right now Perez, without his teammate, is kind of a sitting duck. Now, the next car that he'll have to contend with for Perez is going to be George Russell if Russell continues to close the gap, as well as Lewis Hamilton. But as it stands right now, I think we're going to be okay. Now, we can't come in too early just yet. But I am starting to see the tires be a negative effect.
Window and you're going to be on mediums.
Alright, so that means we'll be taking a set of mediums with us to the rest of the race. I actually practiced a lot on the mediums, and they actually do really well, so we might be able to cause some serious damage in this race, and maybe some chaos as well. So I mentioned earlier that NASCAR used to run here. The Xfinity Series ran here for a couple of years, and every race was kind of an international incident. Especially when it came to like the Canadian drivers versus the American drivers. In fact, one of the most infamous races was when Danica Patrick was leading, and some fan threw a shoe onto the track, and right as Danica came by, she couldn't see the shoe, she ran over it, and it actually knocked something in the steering column out, so she was taken out of the race itself. Almost said the Grand Prix, but NASCAR does not do Grand Prix. But you can see how much potential this car has, especially since we actually, we actually decided to get around. Now Sergio Perez is coming to pit road, so that'll take him out. So move Lando Norris up into the 5th position. So this is an interesting strategy that's being used by the Red Bull cars. Now our next lap is going to be when the pit stop when the pit window opens. I can barely speak today. I don't know why. So what we'll do is that we will come in on lap 20. That means we will have a 15-lap dash to the finish, and that should be more than enough time on the mediums, and we should be okay. Hopefully we don't double stack, because we don't want to double stack and screw up our teammate. Nice and easy as we make our way through the Wall of Champions. Kind of downshifted a little too quick there.
Okay, the pit window's open, so let's box this lap. Box this lap.
No, we're going to box the next lap. Because then that means it'll actually be a 14-lap dash to get to where we're going.
Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 11.0 seconds.
Ooh, look at that. Lando Norris and Lewis Hamilton have come to pit road. But now you can see there, Verstappen has clawed his way back up. Now, this is where things are going to get a little interesting, because right as it stands now, had a little hard time there. Wow. And the car decided to lose control. So what this is going to mean for everybody is this. The more that we stay out here, the more that it's going to give Verstappen a little something better, because they're going to have to do the pit stop in less than 19 seconds, as we see right now.
Let's use that overtake button a bit more.
So here's what I intend to do with this. One more lap. We'll stay out one more lap, and then we'll come to pit road and see what we can do, because then we can fight a little bit on these mediums. You can see that Verstappen's gone to a set of mediums for this. So I'm not sure what his idea is all about. So here we go. We are going to go for one more lap on these hards. And then we'll come in next time by. In fact, we'll see if our teammate Leclerc ends up coming to pit road. And you know what? If we keep this up, if we actually do end up double stacking, it won't be so bad, especially with the way things are going right now. George Russell's in for his pit stop. So let's see if we can keep this lead ahead of us. So right now, as it stands, Max Verstappen could take over the race lead with that undercut. But again, he'll have worn tires. So there goes George Russell back. So that means now Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton are going to be the ones that are possibly going to be up here along with Sergio Perez. So right now, the Ferraris are kind of a sit and duck. But we have a big enough gap, me and Leclerc, that we should be okay. And even if we do double stack, still, I don't think it's going to really harm me, and I don't think it's going to harm Leclerc too much, because we got a big enough gap. By the time that Leclerc comes back to me, it'll be time for his stop. So here we go, everybody. We are coming to pit road this time by. We will be on the mediums. Here we go. We're going to be coming through the corner. Into the pit box we must go. Nice and tidy through there. All right, now we just got to keep an eye on our teammate, and we got to keep an eye on where Verstappen and Perez are. Off come the hards, on go the mediums, and we're back underway. 2.7 second pit stop. Look at that. Leclerc came to pit road, but we didn't double stack. Ha! All right, where's Verstappen? Where is Perez? Where is Hamilton? Oh, there he goes.
After these tyres now, we want to finish the race on this compound.
So now, what's going to happen here? Is it going to be Verstappen? Is it going to be us? It's going to be us that are going to get out just barely ahead of Max Verstappen with these new tires. So the undercut helped him get up to second, but it didn't help him whatsoever when it came to, taking over the race lead. So way to go there. So now we have the race lead again. So we're going to have to keep Max Verstappen behind us. We certainly don't want that incident at Miami to repeat itself, which I don't think it will. But man, that was really, really close. So we have the race lead right now. Man, the brakes on this thing are having a harder time. Let's go ahead and use some of our overtake to kind of stay ahead of Max Verstappen, and look at the power we have. I'm starting to wonder, though, if Max Verstappen's engine is kind of laying down a little bit. Because it's hard to tell when some of these cars actually change engines. It would be kind of nice to see, like, why somebody's starting way in the back. Or, like, if something's weak or something. But I guess you can't really do that. Also, you saw right there, we were like purple through that sector. That we are going to see... I actually think we're actually going to see a track record fall. For the most part. In fact, you can see right there that...
the gap behind is 2.2 seconds.
Alright, but you can see right there that we went purple through that sector. Let's see how we do on this sector. I think we're going to see a faster lap time here for sure. Kind of just staying quiet here because I'm also focusing on getting this. Well, we go green in that sector. Green just means that we're faster than our normal lap time. Purple means we're faster than the actual flying lap. So I'm going to go ahead and use some of that overtake down this straightaway, see if we can do something with it. Not too much of it, because I don't want to use all of it. Nice. Alright, we've made it through. We've made it through, and that'll put us P1 again.
That was the fastest lap of the race. Keep this up. Well done.
I'll tell you one thing. This Ferrari is super, super quick, especially with where we are right now. Now, I don't know where my teammate is. I hope my teammate did not get back too far. Let's see if we can find out.
You're leading the pack. That's P1. Verstappen behind you now. Our gap behind is 3.8 seconds. They're on old mediums. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. 13 laps to go.
Alright, it doesn't tell me where my teammate is. Yeah, there's really not much that we can do. Well,
13 laps of fuel remaining.
13 laps of fuel remaining. Yikes. Well, we should be okay. it looks like, ooh, it looks like Leclerc is going to lose a lot of points, because I think he was kind of near the back there. Now, we did not double stack very well, or anything, which is good news. I probably should have come in right there at lap 9, or lap 19, and that would have really helped out Leclerc, but I don't think it would have made any difference, because we were 12 seconds ahead, so once the team did that, it only gave them like 9 seconds to get set up for Leclerc, so it really wouldn't be double stacking. But with the cars that are on the alternate strategy, it's sort of helped them. Now I see Lewis Hamilton has taken over Sergio Perez's spot, so he's up into the 3rd position. But this is going to be interesting. This is definitely going to shake up the points a little bit before we get to the next race in Austria, where I feel like this car is going to be absolutely spot on. Because it is a high-speed racetrack for a very short track. In fact, it's actually another short road course. And I don't mean to say...
Okay, so that's
oh!
Red flag, no overtaking, and let's get back into the pits, please.
Oh my goodness!
Okay, there's been an incident on track resulting in loose debris. Fortunately, the mark...
Yikes! So we have another red flag situation.
There's a good chance to change our strategy for the rest of the Grand Prix if we want to.
So fuel saving strategy is going to be important for us. Wow. So the race will restart somewhere on there. But yikes. So we can't actually change tires. I mean, we can't actually add the fuel. So let me see here. 26. As it stands currently, it says here, fuel-saving measures required to complete the race. So if we're restarting on lap 26, and the race is 35 laps, that means we'll have 1 extra lap of fuel. So yeah, that's probably what we're going to do. Alright, so we'll have to see exactly what happened back there on lap number 24. But here we go, we're about to go back to the green flag now. So here we go again. 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And it's back underway.
They seem to have an issue.
Oh, they absolutely do. Verstappen did not get going. Verstappen seems to be having a hard time there. But now what's going to have to happen is this. Because we can go to lap 35 or anything like that, we are going to need to use some fuel strategy here. So that'll most likely mean we can't use our overtake, but yikes. But as you can see, everybody changed to the soft tires except for me. I decided to stay on mediums because I want to see these mediums to the end of the race. But wow. Alright, so we'll have to see who started that red flag and see what happened, because it looks like there's nobody out of the race, but I'm kind of curious to see who ended up causing that red flag. Because that's one of the big things that a lot of the F1 gamers and F1 YouTubers wanted back in this game, was the use of red flags. Because in past years, red flags were taken away, essentially. Right now we got Lewis Hamilton right behind us. We need to keep him behind us because, my god, look at that. How ironic. He announces he's going to go to Ferrari, and right now he's chasing a Ferrari. And no, I don't want to be his teammate. I want to stay as far away from Lewis Hamilton as I can. Looks like Lando Norris moves up into the 4th position, so it'll be a good run for them in the McLaren car. And like I said, I don't want to run for McLaren. You know, I'm going to be very surprised if, like...
Okay, so the gap to the car behind is 1.8 seconds.
I'm going to be very surprised if after this race, it'll be time to sign the next contract or something. Which, more than likely, will be interesting. Kevin Magnussen's out!
Magnussen for you. Right, they've got a serious car issue. It looks like they're retiring.
Wow. So Kevin Magnussen in the Haas car is out. Haas is also not a bad choice, but I don't think I want to go there. We also stand to be a little bit faster too, because you can see that we're actually about to go purple again. Let's see what happens as we make our way through the corner. Can we break our own track record?
Take button more. It's time to utilise some of this energy. Come on.
Yeah, I think we will. In fact, look at this.
DRS has been enabled.
Ha!
DRS is now enabled.
Wow.
Gap to your teammate behind is
You see that?
11.7 seconds.
Did you see that, everybody? It was a 1:13.0. That is a little bit off of our pole setting speed. And I don't know what they did, but this car now feels really, really good. As we go by the stricken car of Kevin Magnussen, this car now feels way better right now. I think we're actually getting faster too. So I think we're going to be okay fuel mileage wise, because I'm also letting off the gas and letting the car coast a little bit. Good way of saving fuel, but we are going to have to get some fuel saving stuff done with this car. Maybe in the R&D screen, if it's available, I'll have to do something with it. How about we go ahead and do that again? See if we can get another lap here and see if we can take it into the 112s. See if we can maybe back up our qualifying lap. Let's see. Making our way through the wall of champions right here. Get through, get through. Whoa, got a little bit loose right there, but let's see if it's good enough. Is it good enough to get into the 112s? Yes, it is. Just barely, but we got in there. 112.9. Okay, enough record breaking. Let's just focus on this race because we got a handful of laps to go. So it looks like it's going to be 3 different people on the podium. Luckily, one of them is a Ferrari right now. But it looks like our teammate is most likely going to finish back in the 6th spot after dominating the first half of the race. But hey, at some point we'll get to see a Ferrari 1-2 in qualifying. Maybe we'll see that at Austria. Who knows? I just know that as we continue through this season, it's going to be a lot of fun to see how qualifying shakes out for these cars. Now we make our way through the corner, down into this hairpin. Yikes. Almost went haywire there. Right now we have a 7.5 second lead, almost a 7.5 second lead ahead of Lewis Hamilton. Then it's Lando Norris in the 3rd position, Verstappen is 4th, and George Russell rounds out the top 5. So right now this is definitely a very mixed bag of results. Also, we'll have to check the replay at the end of the race and see exactly what brought out that red flag. Because I'm very curious to see if it was anything decent or stupid. And yeah, we did cut the course, so what? Car just couldn't do much. Right now, there's a lot of jockeying for position as now Max Verstappen has suddenly fallen back, or has fallen to 5th as George Russell has come around. We got to be really careful though, because those Mercedes are going to be very tricky to beat if they suddenly get a huge adjustment or something like that. And right now, it looks like that the front 3 cars have separated, and meanwhile, George Russell is like holding up everybody. It's weird how this whole thing happens. But we now have 6 laps to go in this race. And I'm actually kind of glad too, because this track is really fun, but that little turn there, the Wall of Champions, is really annoying me for some reason. Okay, so let's see. Our little thingy is showing the tire wear, which is fine. We're still in the green, which means that the tires are fine. So I'm not quite sure why it's doing that. I guess it's probably just showing us really quickly the tire wear. Oh boy. Almost had a little looseness there. We have a really great car, and I kind of feel like that this will be that this will keep up with us.
5 laps of fuel remaining.
So we got 5 laps of fuel remaining, which means we will have 1 lap of fuel remaining at the very end, which is very important because we don't want to run out of fuel. In fact, F1 hates it when you're out of gas, because here's why. At the end of every session, whether it be practice or qualifying, they take a fuel sample to make sure you didn't put any additives or special stuffing in there to, enhance the engine or give it some more power. Because you used to be able to put stuff in there and then drain it out and put new fuel in. But that is not a good idea. So, thankfully though, we'll have enough fuel to really take the fuel sample, which is good news. In fact, we'll have just enough that will allow us to, you know, get back to pit road and everything, and then they can take the fuel sample from the tank. As we continue our way through the Crypto.com turn, we continue going around here, and you'll see the Qatar airline banners as we keep passing by them. We'll be heading to Qatar later in the season. In fact, it's actually going to be probably around the time before we go back to Circuit of the Americas. So we'll be hitting America again. Which, by the way, too, I am going to say this right now. Despite the fact that Andretti did not get into F1, that's not going to stop us, per se, for continuing to do this, because you guys have been really enjoying it. I've been seeing it in reviews. So if you guys continue to enjoy the F1 stuff, I'll continue to do it. You just gotta make sure you hit the like button and comment and subscribe as we do a mid-race plug, or I should say end of the race plug, because we're gonna have 2 laps to go next time by, and we are just slowly pulling away. Like now we have a 12-second lead ahead of Lewis Hamilton, and this car has just been quite amazing. Let's take a look and see our stuff here. Looks like the next is going to be the internal combustion unit, or the ICE, and a few other parts. But I don't think it is the, I don't think it's the internal, 41%. I hope that's not the engine durability that's gone south on us, because that's going to be a tremendous pain if it is. We'll have to probably put some reliability training in the R&D screen. But everything else looks fine. The energy store is only on 7%, which is good. Everything else looks fairly good. Well, I guess we'll have to see what happens when we get to the next race, because I know that we're going to need a good engine for the next couple of races. 2 laps of racing to go.
We've only got 2 laps of fuel left.
Oh, this is going to be really tricky. You know, we have a big enough gap. I probably should be careful with the fuel. Oh, you can see right there that we have enough for at least about a 7...
Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 26.6 seconds.
So you know what? This is where we're going to have to use some fuel saving strats. In fact, right now we have a 14-second lead ahead of Lewis Hamilton, which means we can afford to use a little bit of fuel saving strats. So how do you save fuel in this series? Well, similar to like how you would in any other division. You have to kind of like roll out of the gas a little bit. You can see right there that we're not getting back into it. Now we're back into it. So I think we're going to be okay. I think we're going to be just fine. Because this is where we make up the most fuel. Yeah, see? So we will have enough to get us back around to the start-finish line for the next lap. And then we should have enough for the fuel sample. But here we go. We're going to be coming to the white flag presented by Ally Bank. Whoa! Oh my gosh!
Be careful.
So they gave us a 3-second time penalty for cutting the corner.
Penalty for that last incident, mate.
Wow! So on the white flag lap, we get a penalty, but it's not going to be enough to even give anything to Lewis Hamilton.
Final lap. Push.
But I just know that we had a very hard time getting through there. But you know what? It's okay, because you know what? We have the race lead. A 3-second time penalty is not going to hurt us at all. As we continue to make our way around the track, I can see that there's a lot of different things, as now George Russell has made the pass. Or actually, I think he made a pass on Sergio Perez. I can't tell what the hell happened. But here we go. We're going to come for the last hairpin. And let's hope that we don't actually cut the corners again. But I'll tell you what, it's great that we got out here in front. It's a shame that we couldn't make it a Ferrari 1-2. But like I said, that 3-second penalty is not going to mean anything to us. It's not going to mean anything to us as we come out of the Wall of Champions. Give us another win. We win the Canadian GP. and tack on to our points lead in F1.
A truly magnificent drive and a great performance from the entire team to secure victory here in Canada.
Yeah, baby.
So, Natalie, what do you think helped them deliver this result?
Back in 2022, the new regulations came in with a promise of more wheel-to-wheel racing. That's exactly what we got today, and that has been the trend ever since their inception. Long may it continue.
Love how the subtitles don't match up with the audio.
Ferrari are at it again. An excellent performance at today's Grand Prix, and they're certainly a team that know what they're doing out there.
Beautiful. And we beat Lewis Hamilton and we beat Lando Norris, who got himself a podium. Good job for him. You can hear the music in the background. But yes, everybody, we got ourselves another win.
Let's have a look then at the driver's standings. The scientist increases their championship lead. Let's focus on the driver of the day. Natalie Pinkham, come on, who do you pick?
I have to give it to the scientist.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Ferrari continue to extend the gap at the top of the table. Meanwhile, AlphaTauri's strong weekend allows them to continue their march up the table. Well, that was certainly an exciting weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for more exciting Formula One action very soon.
Alright, now let's go ahead and get into the replay. And let's see what happened there on lap 24. So, let's see here. Let's try to get over to lap 24 and see what the hell happened. Okay, here we go. Alright, so this was lap 24. Let's get right to the moment where we get the red flag. And then we can kind of go backwards and see what the heck happened. So, the red flag happened somewhere around here. Because then there we go, very slow. Alright, let's see if we can sort out where it was. Okay, not Verstappen. Not there. Oh, that's a cool shot. Let's see. Okay, it wasn't our teammates. It wasn't Ocon. It wasn't any of these guys. Oh! Was it Alex Albon? I think it was Alex Albon. The guy that started up there, but let's see what happened. What's he doing there? Did he spin out? I think he may have. What the heck happened to him? Alright, let's see what's going on here. Alright, so let's go ahead and get on his onboard. So, Alex Albon in the Williams, going through turn 1 and 2. Oh, he just looped it. He looped it around. And then as he's trying to get back on the track, obviously, there goes Pierre Gasly. He's trying to get back on. Now, he could continue right here, but then here comes Tsunoda, then his teammate Ricciardo, and then Valtteri Bottas should be coming out here. There he is. And then Alonso gets stopped on the track. And so, really, he just created the red flag. Because here's the thing. Let's go back a little bit. Let's go right here. You see, there is so much room because Albon could have turned it hard left and then just waited until Alonso came by and then Stroll came by, because obviously there was enough room for Lance Stroll to get through, but unfortunately it didn't work. So Albon caused a caution that wasn't supposed to or a red flag. Meanwhile, if we go to this next one here, let's see if we can find what happened here to Kevin. Wait, wrong car. It's this one. So let's see what happened here to Magnussen. Let's listen in. Hang on, let's get the right camera angle here. I want to be on his cockpit. Okay, let's take a listen. Oh, something went wrong. Something let go. Like, either the I don't think it was an engine or anything. Like, was there any smoke coming out from behind him? Let's take a look-see. No engine. Well, no smoke coming out of that car. He just... It's almost like as soon as he did that, I wonder if he pulled something in the drivetrain back there. Maybe a rear end busted or something? But he did the right thing of retiring right there, so... Oh well, too bad for that, but man, Alex Albon, what was that about? Well, either way, we still did pretty good, and hey, look at that, a double points day for the Alpines. Then you have double points for the Ferrari, the Mercedes, the Red Bull cars, and then Yuki Tsunoda got 1 point. So way to go for him. But boy, oh boy, that was crazy. Okay, so we got a bunch of upgrades and stuff coming into the Austrian GP, and it looks like not this week, but the following weeks. Will be when we actually will have to select our team. Who are we going to go with? Who knows? But that's going to do it for this episode. If you guys want to see more F1 races, make sure you hit the like, don't forget to comment, and also subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Until then, take care.